Your chance to win $1,000 is tonight during News Channel 5 at 6.
Good evening, I'm Bob Schieffer. This was the picture of the day. Presidents Bush and Putin reviewing Russian troops in Red Square. But the two leaders have some very sharp differences, and Putin talked to our Mike Wallace about that. We'll start there tonight, then we'll have these stories.
Politics in the pulpit. I'm Jim Acosta with the story of one pastor who told his members to vote for George Bush or else.
Going nowhere. I'm Jerry Bowen on why Americans are wasting more time in traffic than ever before.
I'm Elizabeth Caledon. Could a pill or a shot reduce your Alzheimer's risk?
Is the age of the super mom over? I'm Sandra Hughes with the rise of the slacker mom.
This is the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
For more than 4 decades, the West watched nervously as the mighty Soviet military put on its annual show at the Kremlin. As important as the military parade itself were those watching it. And who stood closest to the Soviet leader was sometimes our only clue to who was running the country. But today, the man standing closest to Russian President Putin was George W. Bush. And for two men who have been sharply critical of each other, they put on a pretty good show of friendship. Here's Bill Plant in Moscow.
Moscow's Red Square today was a scene out of the past. Goose-stepping Red Army troops belted out songs of the Second World War as they marched in celebration of the defeat of Nazi Germany 60 years ago. Big jet fighters roared overhead. Elderly veterans evoked the memory of Russia's 27 million war dead. The Soviet hammer and sickle insignia streamed past the reviewing stand filled with world leaders. But in the middle of this scene from the Cold War, an image of the President of the United States, in the seat of honor right next to Vladimir Putin, even seeming to congratulate him on his speech. The two leaders have made a determined public effort to showcase their friendship following the tension of recent days. This is the image they put forward after private talks last night. Two pals out for a joyride in Putin's vintage Volga.
Having so much fun, we're going for another lap.
But recent events have strained the relationship. U.S. officials now worry that Putin is retreating from democracy, and they've expressed concerns about his muscle flexing in the Middle East, including a planned anti-aircraft missile sale to Syria.
President Putin has definitely started moving Russia away from the path of rule of law, real democratization, civil society, respect for their neighbors.
One of those neighbors, the former Soviet Republic of Georgia, gave the president a huge welcome tonight. Fireworks exploded above, and Mr. Bush cheered on traditional dancers. Later, he tried a few dance moves himself. 100,000 Georgians are expected tomorrow to hear Mr. Bush praise their nonviolent revolution. More boosting of democracy on Russia's doorstep. And that could upset the president's good friend, Vladimir Putin. Bill Plant, CBS News, with the president in Tbilisi.
Correspondent Mike Wallace conducted a 2-hour interview with President Putin, and in highlights seen last night on 60 Minutes, Putin was critical of President Bush on several fronts. But in a portion of the interview you will see for the first time tonight, Putin seems determined to keep the lines of communication open, though, as you will hear, he says he will not allow Mr. Bush to pressure him.
Do you wish that President Bush were not making these stops? Wish that he might or would stay out of what you consider Russia's sphere of influence?
Well, this is absolutely wrong. Not so. Former Soviet Union republics are now independent states. We cannot be giving any advice or recommending the President of the United States where to go and where not to.
In our 2-hour interview, the Russian president took on President Bush and Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice for their public criticisms of his so-called retreat from democracy. Do you resent getting lectures from, about democracy from President Bush?
Well, they have never given me any lectures on that.
In Bratislava, the president said, hey, get with democracy. He said it not in those words, but in effect that's what he was saying to you, and that's what Condoleezza Rice said to you.
Well, Condoleezza said nothing of that sort to me personally. I know their point of view, and they express it officially and in public.
You've agreed to disagree. Russia has the democracy that you believe Russia should have, and the United States should butt out.
Не совсем так.
Not quite so. We will accept a fresh look from the outside, and I will respond to advice with great respect. But I will not respond to pressure.
So he says he's not going to succumb to pressure, but in a way he seemed to me to be sort of leaving the door open for negotiations, if not in public, at least behind the scenes.
Agreed.
Let me ask you this other question, though, Mike. Do you find him informed on what's going on in the West?
You know something? He's a foreign intelligence expert. That's where he came from. And unlike President Bush, who I understand says, look, I get the news. I don't read newspapers. I get the news from my aides. He said, not me. I read newspapers all day long. I don't want to hear the biases of my aides. I don't want to hear what they believe is the news. I want to find out for myself, and that's why I read papers.
On a totally different subject, I understand today is your birthday. Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you.
How many?
87.
That's great. Thank you, Mike Wallace. In Washington, an epic battle that has been threatened for months now may be coming to a head. The Republican threat to try to change Senate rules and do away with filibusters to make it easier to confirm some of the president's judicial appointments. It sounds like inside baseball, but it could have a dramatic impact on everything from abortion and same-sex marriage to the death penalty. Here's Gloria Borger with our report.
It's an arrogance, an abuse of power.
As far as political fights go, this could be one for the history books.
They should get an up or down vote.
The Senate showdown is over judges. Republicans who want to get the president's nominees confirmed are threatening to end the age-old filibuster, where any senator can threaten to stop any vote just by continuously talking. Right now, it takes 60 votes to cut him off. The Democrats call that unconstitutional, an assault on the system of checks and balances. But this fight goes way beyond Senate rules. This is a monumental battle about the future of the courts. Just who gets to sit on the Supreme Court, and should we appoint justices who want to rule on everything from abortion to gay marriage to civil rights? That's why many conservatives consider the fight over judges their political Armageddon. But conservative icon and former federal judge Ken Starr says it's gotten out of control.
This is a radical departure from our history and from our traditions, and it amounts to an assault on the judicial branch of government.
Starr, who investigated the Monica Lewinsky case against President Clinton, tells CBS News that the Republican plan to end the filibuster may be unwise.
It may prove to have the kind of long-term boomerang effect, damage on the institution of the Senate that thoughtful senators may come to regret.
Still, Starr thinks all judges should be allowed to vote, even if they're Democrats.
During the Clinton years,
Exactly.
Lots of those nominees were blocked by Republicans in committee.
Exactly, and I don't think that's particularly admirable either.
Now, both sides realize they have a lot at stake here, so watch for talk of a possible compromise. They know that the polls show that partisan wrangling is not what the voters want, Bob.
Well, seeing Ken Starr, of all people, coming out on what looks like the opposite side of many on the conservative wing of the Republican Party tells me that both sides here may be looking for some way out of this showdown that's coming. Do you get that sense, Gloria?
I do get that sense. The polls are showing that the voters really want this wrangling to stop. I think Ken Starr is saying that those on the far right and those on the far left have both gone overboard, that a president ought to get the right to pick his judges, and we ought to move beyond where we were when we had the Justice Bork fight in the 80s, Bob.
All right. Thank you very much, Gloria. Washington is not the only place a political storm is building. In North Carolina, members of a Baptist church say they have been expelled from the congregation because of an argument over how they voted in the last election. Here's Jim Acosta with that story.
It's a case of the cross getting caught in the crossfire. 9 members of this North Carolina Baptist church claim their pastor forced them out of the congregation. Their sin was their vote. for John Kerry. Was this an ultimatum?
That's the way it sounded to me.
Former church deacon Frank Lowe says the Reverend Chan Chandler issued that ultimatum in a sermon last fall.
Let me just say this right now. If you vote for John Kerry this year, you need to repent or resign.
The ousted members say Chandler made good on his threat last week.
He's the shepherd of the flock. And I don't think politics is what he needs to preach.
Even though churches can jeopardize their tax-exempt status by endorsing candidates, conservative congregations these days may be the country's most potent political force. Suburban megachurches boosted President Bush's re-election campaign, organizing so-called values vote drives, political code words for defeating John Kerry. Theologian Jim Wallace, author of God's Politics, says what happened in North Carolina is another case of politicizing the pulpit.
When the religious right says that those who don't agree with their agenda are not people of faith, they've overstepped the boundaries.
Even President Bush criticized some evangelicals for overreaching.
People in political office should not say to somebody, you're not equally American if you don't happen to agree with my view of religion.
Reverend Chandler declined our request for an interview. The spokesman says he's busy making repairs to a house of worship that's become a house divided. Jim Acosta, CBS News, Waynesville, North Carolina.
4 more American troops have been killed in action in Iraq. 3 of them were Marines engaged in the biggest U.S. offensive since the Battle of Fallujah last November. It started Saturday night in a western desert region along the Syrian border north of the Euphrates River. The offensive involves about 1,000 U.S. troops led by a Marine regiment backed by helicopters and attack jets. The military estimates 100 insurgents have been killed so far. Coming up, Americans are spending more time and wasting more gas than ever stuck in traffic. That is tonight's Inside Story. But first, CBS News honors fallen heroes. Joel Bertoldi. He loved the water and planned to study marine biology. He enjoyed all sports, especially football. He was a big Dallas Cowboys fan, and he played soccer with Iraqi kids. Killed by a roadside bomb, he leaves a son he saw only once. His family has kept 2 footlockers of memorabilia to help explain to young Jesse who his father was.
They say your footprint is as unique as your fingerprint.
It's like me, unique.
That's why Dr. Scholl's created Memory Fit insoles with memory foam to form to the shape of your foot.
It forms right around your feet.
For customized comfort, see the doctor, Dr. Scholl's.
Finally, a denture adhesive with no messy ooze.
Announcing Polygrip Strips. These slim strips are pre-measured to give you a neat, clean seal with all the hold of a cream. New Polygrip Strips holds all day in a neat new way.
Ready to make the move to Levitra for a strong, lasting experience? Ask your doctor if Levitra's right for you. Levitra is what many men with ED count on to improve their erectile quality. Strong and lasting when he wants it. It's what Levitra's all about.
Levitra is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains or alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. In the rare case an erection lasts for more than 4 hours, seek immediate medical attention.
Strong, lasting. Experience Levitra for yourself. If you're on another ED treatment, maybe it's time to try Levitra. Ask your doctor about a free sample.
At Stouffer's, our lasagna is America's favorite for what we put in it. And now even more appreciated for what we don't. See what's cooking at Stouffer's.
Me and B.B. King have a lot in common. We both have diabetes. He doesn't like to wait for results. I don't like to wait.
All done within 5 seconds. You just can't beat that.
Ask for One Touch Ultra. One Touch changes everything.
I fell in love last year with a house. It's gonna take a lot of work, but I believe in doing it yourself if you can. I wish that more people could see the beauty in a clawfoot tub. I use my Discover card for my remodeling supplies, and I get cash back on all of it, which is great, because cash is a funny way of disappearing in this place.
This is our card, the Discover card.
If you're a woman like me, you'd be smart to ask your doctor about prescription Actonel. A-C-T-O-N-E-L. Act now and fight back with Actonel.
In Missouri, a routine trip to school today turned tragic when a bus filled with young children smashed into two cars. It happened in the town of Liberty near Kansas City. 2 adults were killed. 23 children, kindergarten through 5th grade, were sent to the hospital. Passers-by helped to rescue the kids. The cause of the accident is being investigated. The price of gasoline has apparently peaked. The Energy Department said today the price has fallen a dime in the past month to a nationwide average of $2.18 a gallon. That's still 24 cents more than we were paying a year ago, and a lot of this high-priced gas is being wasted by cars stuck in traffic. Jerry Bowen now with the inside story.
America's in gridlock like never before. Motorists spent nearly 80 million more hours sitting bumper to bumper in 2003 than the previous year. And at the top of the list, again, is Los Angeles. Here, commuters spent nearly 4 full days going absolutely nowhere.
It's the parking lot. Just put on some good music and hope for the best.
Throw in the nation's highest gas prices.
Sometimes it's enough to make you want to move.
And freeway shootings. There was a new one just last night with no one hurt. And you have the trifecta of traffic troubles.
Traffic is a nightmare. Gas is out of control, and the violence is out of control, too.
The annual survey puts L.A. well at the top of the list, well ahead of number 2, San Francisco. But the study notes there's even gridlock in paradise. Honolulu coasted in at number 50 of cities where motorists spend at least 20 hours a year waiting in rush hour traffic. And it's costly. $63 billion in time, productivity, and fuel wasted. That's over 2 billion gallons of fuel, enough to keep America's cars and trucks rolling for almost a week. And it would be worse in Southern California without toll roads.
It's a lot quicker than taking the freeway any day. There's no traffic. It's straight through. It's a beautiful drive.
It's estimated $400 billion in new road construction over the next 6 years would solve the problem. But experts say new roads alone aren't the answer.
I think if you look at the growth in demand every year, it's pretty clear that you can't solve this problem only with road building. I think we need more roads and more public transportation.
Carpool and left lane blocked off.
Meantime, the gridlock is so bad that even the traffic reporters are tired of hearing about it.
Leave me alone! Don't shoot the messenger!
And gridlock is on the move, expanding to the suburbs where people have moved to get away from big city problems. This problem has traveled with them. Jerry Bowen, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And coming up next, taking on Alzheimer's. 2 different approaches to the disease, and both are showing some promise.
Hey, Steve, what's this?
It's my toilet brush.
Oh.
Easy, Cupcake. That's a fresh brush. A flushable brush from scrubbing bubbles.
Keep talking.
It's the only flushable brush because it breaks up like toilet paper.
Leaving your bowl sparkling clean?
Yeah. You can't flush those Clorox toilet wand heads, so you can get stuck with over 75 million bacteria.
75 million?
They should be paying rent.
Scrubbing Bubbles Fresh Brush. Flush the germy mess away. SC Johnson & Family Company.
Item 7. What flavors do you taste?
Which one is this? Twisters.
Bold.
Cool Ranch and cheddar.
Cool Ranch and cheddar.
Cool Ranch and cheddar. Yeah.
Good. Item number 8.
Brownies. Cool Ranch and cheddar.
Oh, yeah. Bold.
Cool Ranch and cheddar.
Cool Ranch and cheddar. Last one, number 10. Tell me what you actually taste.
Cool Ranch and cheddar.
Cool Ranch and cheddar. Cool Ranch and cheddar.
New Twisters Cool Ranch and Cheddar from Cheez-It.
Pick up your checks.
Hello? Remember me? I'm Digger, the dermatophyte, your nail infection. You may have tried to get me with these over-the-counter surface treatments, but I live deep under your nails. I made myself at home down here, and I'm not leaving. I may even spread out to other nails. I mean, would you look at this view?
If you have thick, discolored, or flaky nails, over-the-counter surface treatments might not reach the infection. That's why you should ask your doctor about prescription-only Lamisil tablets. Unlike surface treatments, Lamisil is a pill that works through the bloodstream to target and attack the infection at its source, under the nail. In fact, you may start to see clearer, healthier nails in just 3 months. Lamisil isn't for people with liver or kidney problems. In rare cases, serious side effects in the liver or serious skin reactions have occurred, so your doctor may do a simple blood test. Other side effects, including headache, diarrhea, indigestion, and rash, were generally mild. Ask your doctor about Lamisil. It could be your solution. Once daily Lamisil tablets. Get your nail infection where it grows.
Tonight at 10, we've all said it. People in this town just don't know how to drive.
Light turned yellow, I'm floored.
Well, News Channel 5's Barry Simmons puts that statement to the test.
What's the HOV lane?
When are you permitted to double park?
The written driver's test.
My 4-year-old knows that.
How would you do?
Oh, God.
Golly.
Can the drivers passing you on the road pass the test?
Miss 7.
Oh!
Tonight on News Channel 5 at 10.
I'll call my wife to come get me.
One of the towering figures of law and government has died. Lloyd Cutler was an advisor to presidents of both parties dating back to Lyndon Johnson. He was counsel to President Carter during the Iran crisis and to President Clinton during the Whitewater investigation. Cutler once said, "In government, trust is the coin of the realm." Lloyd Cutler was 87. In some medical news tonight, there are promising advances in the battle against Alzheimer's disease. There is new evidence that a drug many people take to lower cholesterol may work on Alzheimer's as well. At the same time, researchers are working hard on an Alzheimer's vaccine. Elizabeth Caledon is with us here tonight with more on both of those stories. Elizabeth?
That's right, Bob. Scientists have been trying to tackle Alzheimer's disease on two fronts in particular, with statins and a vaccine. Tonight, there are a few promising results. A study funded by the makers of the statin drug Lipitor shows that a daily dose reduced the amount of cholesterol in the brain. Scientists are looking hard at statins because cholesterol in the brain may play a key role in mental deterioration. And on the vaccine front, researchers actually injected trial subjects with the same substance that causes Alzheimer's to trigger an immune response. It's just like exposing people to the flu in order to prevent them from getting the flu. Researchers injected plaque, the protein that builds up in the brains of Alzheimer's patients, into study subjects. Early results showed that some injected patients actually performed better on a series of memory tests than patients who got a placebo, Bob.
So we're worried now about cholesterol in the brain.
That's right. It does circulate in the body through the brain, and they think that may be a key reason, a key cause of Alzheimer's disease.
That sort of gives new meaning to the term fathead, doesn't it? Let me just ask you, how far along is this? Is this something we should take seriously yet?
Well, yes, we should take it seriously, but these are very preliminary results in early phases of testing. But the fact is, Alzheimer's is very hard to treat, so these are positive steps.
All right. Well, still to come, we begin an Eye on America special series on family life. Tonight, a lesson in relaxation for anyone who's trying to be the perfect parent.
The CBS Evening News and tonight's Eye on America segment are sponsored by Viactive Multivitamin Chews, the multivitamin women want.
Pencil-thin figures. Healthy bodies. Boring multivitamin pills. New Viactive Multivitamin Chews. Delicious chews with essential vitamins women need. New Viactive. The multivitamin women want.
I'm having work done. And I'm so excited.
Let Olay Regenerist do the work. It continuously renews skin's appearance at the cellular level for lasting results. Olay Regenerist.
Work done.
We're best friends. Honors students. We are diabetics. We test 10 times a day because this is our meter.
The AccuCheck Compact system takes the pain out of struggling with strips. You can also test on your palm.
We say, see you later, pain.
Switch to the AccuCheck Compact system.
To keep things fresh in the freezer, use new Glad Press and Seal Freezer Wrap. It seals air out, so freshness stays in, because it's the only wrap that seals when you press it, to get more air out than freezer bags. New Glad Press and Seal Freezer Wrap. For freshness in the freezer, get Glad.
Ask me anything about cranberries. I spent most of my life knee-deep in them. I don't have time to think about retirement, so I found someone I trusted to do it for me.
Retirement and estate planning from Mutual of Omaha. Begin today.
You don't eat steak with a butter knife. Don't drive a truck without the right equipment. Chevy Silverado Z71. Standard Vortec V8 to pull the weight. Off-road suspension to get through the tough stuff. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Now get up to $5,000 total cash back on select Silverado vehicles and inventory, but hurry, offer ends May 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Hey, Angie. Going to the post office?
Post office? Angie, post office, 3 seconds.
No matter how many packages you need to send, you don't have to go to the post office. Just log on to USPS.com. Pay postage, get insurance, print labels, and we'll pick them up for free.
I'm at the post office.
Just one more way the U.S. Postal Service is working for you.
A state senator is going to investigate a troubled child care facility run by the state. We'll have a full report coming up tonight on News Channel 5 at 6.
Today's stressed out parents may think the last thing they need is more advice from experts, but listen up. The latest word for moms and dads is relax. Sandra Hughes now with tonight's Eye on America.
For Los Angeles writer and comedian Sandra Singlo,
okay, you can play, it doesn't matter. You can play or clean up.
The pressure started even before she gave birth.
So you're lying around in your hormonal state reading Evermore baby books.
Pressure to be the perfect mother.
Where's Susanna?
To the perfect child. Then came piano lessons, the tutoring for kindergarten entrance exams, and oh yes, soccer.
I read one statistic that the greatest number of red lights in America were run by soccer moms.
As it all piled up, Singlo agreed to review the latest unconventional advice books for parents who need to clean up the chaos.
Like the 3 Martini Playdate, cheap psychological tricks for parents, and my personal favorite, Confessions of a Slacker Mom.
C+ parenting, relaxed parenting, underachieving parenting, where you just go, I just can't do it all.
You should do it yourself, honey.
Muffy Mead Farrow, who wrote Slacker Mom, thinks for this generation of mothers, parenting has been taken to a professional level.
It is very easy to bring that same aggressive and competitive zeal to raising your kids that you brought to your career. You know, parenting for some people is the ultimate social competition.
The Slacker Mom says dial back. Fewer lessons and more free time produces more capable kids. Just watch your 4-year-old make his own lunch.
If you're fearful of making mistakes, and if you're raised with the expectation that you're supposed to do everything perfectly, I think you will be fearful of making mistakes.
A mom who doesn't expect perfection, but there are consequences when the kids misbehave.
Well, you know, we don't really spank anymore, but we did early on with both of our kids.
That's right. Discipline is back, and so is saying no, even getting really mad. The idea from Mead Farrow and the other authors, many of them moms and psychologists, is that striving for perfection has produced a generation of whiny, self-absorbed, incapable kids.
What's the magic word?
Not at Sandra Singlo's house.
I found that, like, a roll of Scotch tape, give a kid a roll of Scotch tape, say, no, you can have the whole roll. Like, that's amazing.
And what mom isn't secretly hoping this slacker idea is here to stay? In Los Angeles, this is Sandra Hughes for Eye on America.
Off you go.
And that's the news. I'm Bob Schieffer, CBS News in New York. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, click on CBSNews.com. Brought to you in part by Walmart. Good jobs. Good people. Great opportunities. Come grow with us at Walmart.
This is CBS.
Straight ahead on News Channel 5 at 6, an 8-year-old is attacked by a pit bull. Tonight, a teenager tells us how she risked her life to save her little sister.
And it's a plan to keep children safe. We'll tell you which school system wants to put deputies on board its school buses.
And a week ago, we were talking about scattered frost. Now it looks like temperatures way up in the 80s. Your news is now.
From your news and information leader, winner of the Emmy for news excellence, this is News Channel 5 at 6.
Good evening. Witnesses say the pit bull attacked without warning, grabbing a little girl.
She was down and she was bleeding, but her 15-year-old sister went after the dog. And tonight, she tells News Channel 5's Nick Barris she didn't think about the danger. only about saving her sister.
The only thing that was going through my head was helping her.
15-year-old Angelia Turley says she didn't think twice. She suffered severe bite wounds but didn't feel the pain as she attacked the pit bull that attacked her 8-year-old sister Summer.
The dog was jumping up and grabbing her leg and her back and her arms and snapping at my face and just going around in circles.